ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in front of you to deliver the mission about this House would block ex-corruptor from running in the legislative election. The first speaker of the opposition contended the KPU's boldness in implementing this regulation in the face of strong opposition is to be about the Commission stated as the reason for blocking corruptors from running in the election that the public not to be able to choose as their representative individual who are clean with no track record of corruption. The PKPU actually served as a reminder that the law passed by the government in 2017 that sets out some guidelines of general election does not explicitly prevent those convicted of corruption from running and holding office. I don't agree with the data from the first speaker of opposition team because in the legislative elections there is no never-ending punishment. The deprivation of certain rights, including the right to hold public office, is not a new feature in Indonesia criminal law. Under the criminal code, a judge can bar a perpetrator of a crime from holding public office as an additional form of punishment. But in addition to the criminal code, a number of laws also bar ex-offenders from working in the public sector. Several laws in Indonesia bar convicted criminals from serving as police officers, judges, prosecutors, judicial commissioners, or other government-related positions, even as a legal advocates. As for legislator, the 2008 law on legislative election required lawmakers to never have been convicted of a crime that carries a penalty of more than 5 years in periods. This law means that even though someone has already been sentenced by a judge for their crime and served that sentence, the state continues to punish the person by taking away certain civil rights. Punishing ex-offenders via legislative describes due process of law and is given without objective consideration. And constitutional court ruling. In 2009, Constitutional Court gave a decision on a review of the legislative election law that was requested by Robert, who could not run in the 2009 legislative election in West Sumatra because he had been sentenced to 9 years and 8 months in prison in 1976 for violent death. Reviewing Roberto's case, the court ruled that ex-offenders deserve a right to be elected to public officer under certain conditions. First, they have to wait 5 years after they release before running, and then second, they must announce the public prior to their campaign that they were convicted criminals, and the last, they are not repeat offenders or recidivists. The courts only decide on the right to run for elected position, where the public has the power to vote candidate in or out. Ex-offenders still could not serve in appointed positions such as a cabinet minister, a commissioner, or expert staff. With this year legislative elections, the KPU is creating to the Constitutional Court jurisdiction for corruption, child sexual violence, and drug trafficking. And then flawed criminal justice system. The KPU ruling is problematic because our criminal justice system is imperfect and often carried out unfairly. Stealing or misappropriating money for present profit is wrong and can impact to the country government. But a number of people have to bear the status of being a corrupter due to disjointed legislation that conflates state laws and company laws. For instance, for a former director of state-owned airline, child sexual violence sounds independently wrong when we imagine the adult taking advantage of their power over a helpless child. But often in Indonesia, those who are convicted of child sexual violence are the children themselves. They date and have consensual sex, and the parent, often a girl, who find out about the sexual relationship referred the boy to the police. The boy gets convicted for exploring his sexuality with his girlfriend and carries that with him for the rest of his life. And then towards a just democratic society. The state has power to govern people, including the power to restrict ex-offenders' right to hold public office. But instead of creating laws that restrict the right of their subject, in this case, ex-offenders the best way to put all interests in equal pace by using judicial. Let the judge examine fact, connect the dots between theory and cases, and decide whether it is a good or not. And then expound the offender right to hold office. And then more importantly, the judge also need to explicitly mention the time limit during which offender cannot exercise those particular right. The mechanism perhaps will but justify that it is noble in the aim of state should show more confidence in citizens to choose their own representative whether they were criminal or not. Thank you.